Yo, what's up guys? Sniper School has finally launched. I'm pumped. Everyone else is pumped. To be honest, the feedback's been absolutely insane. Now guys, in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can guarantee your next spot in the next cohort that's happening January of up to 5,000 students. Guys, 2022 has been one of the craziest years. We've seen the giants fall down. We saw FTX collapse, we saw Celsius collapse, we even saw the Luna crash, which was absolutely insane. And for me, the motivation was just being seeped out of the crypto market. But then I did a live event and I saw 1,300 people pumped. And I was like, these people, they want to learn. And this is the time to learn. The bear market, the time where the markets are down, when things are going crazy, is the time where you learn the skills that you can change the rest of your life. And guys, seeing all of that, seeing the excitement, that's inspiration. That's why I do what I actually do. Now guys, there's 3 major steps that you need to do in order to get into the school. We've been building this over the last year. We don't want people to pay any cash. So what we did is we found partners that are willing to sponsor this whole course for you. Similar to a scholarship, but no obligations at all. So guys, in order to get to the school, you have to do the following steps. If you have a look below this video, you'll find our exchange links. You have to open an exchange link, minimum of 1, using our referral link. Second step, you then will want to register for the Sniper School. And then you must enter in your user ID, and that's what will guarantee your spot. Only 5,000 spots available.
Cool. So we've got people from across the world again. Welcome, 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 everybody. This is just super, super exciting to have you all here with us. If you have the capacity, please put your cameras on. We love to see who we've got with us. I want to welcome our very special guests for this workshop, Sheldon, the sniper, the star of our show, and amazing teacher, educator, and trader. So welcome, Sheldon, and thank you for being with us twice today on top of all the other stuff you've got going on. And then our other special guest, we've got Mama Sniper in the house, who is just going to be sharing some amazing stuff. Welcome, Danny. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And then the rest of Sheldon's team, Craig and Jason. So we have some incredible trading minds here for you this evening, and they're going to be sharing some seriously good alpha. We saw it this morning. Those of you who have come back for round 2, we know you're going to get some more good stuff in here tonight. So thank you to the Sniper team for being here with us. I'm going to just maybe hand over to Danny for a moment, to Mama Sniper, just to maybe share just a brief moment of inspiration and motivation before we get started.
Awesome. Thanks, Gina. Just quickly before we go on, I just want to, if everybody could put in the chat, who's here for the second time or who's here for the first time? Let's see how many newbies we got here.
Wow, it's going so fast. I hardly read the things.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome anyway, whether you're here for the first time or the second time.
Someone's here for the 3rd time. So someone's a time traveling machine.
First of all, it's really awesome to be here with you guys. Well done for where you guys are at the moment. Pat yourselves on the back. It's not just about us. It's about you guys putting in the effort to be here. So we're very grateful to have you with us. And also, it's a good start to your journey and of you starting to take control of your life by joining us and wanting to learn. So I think that's absolutely amazing. Like the guys who are on with us this morning already know how I can get quite sensitive here, because I find it really, really great that I get to work alongside my son, especially in something so amazing as us getting together and actually just sharing our journeys with you guys, and just showing you where we've gone wrong, where we go right, and even if we still go wrong, we all do it together and we learn together because we know the power of this. So for me, this is absolutely amazing. We started during lockdown, and this is where we realized that you got to do something different in life. You can't just rely on other people and companies and governments and all of that. And this is what makes this whole thing so special, is that we're doing it for ourselves. We're still creating our own businesses. A lot of us lost a lot, and it pushed us to do this. And we are just so grateful to be here with you guys. The whole team is grateful. We work hard every day. We work together as a team. I also strongly recommend that you guys find communities for you guys to work in as well, because it really, really helps, and it just makes you stronger. and our community makes us stronger. And we're happy to have you here. We're happy to have you on our journey. Yeah, let's do this. That's all really I can say, because it's going to be amazing. I've watched Sheldon, what he's done. I've watched him with all his recordings. We've all been working on the information going, and it's absolutely amazing, this course. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for kickstarting this session with such amazing motivation. And we wanted to just hear from some people here in the crowd. How has the last week's lessons been? What have been your biggest takeaways, your biggest lessons, your biggest highlights? I'm just seeing a great comment, which I think a lot of people can relate to. Just really easy information to digest, easy to understand. Big appreciation for the risk management piece. Seeing a bunch of comments around that. So yeah, let's hear from Darren Alexander.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for the platform. Thank you for providing a resource to newbies. And I'll be honest with you, when I first heard Sheldon's story, the family, his dad and stuff, it kind of put me into tears, and it kind of made me reflect on my life and think that, you know what, sometimes you do have quite bad times. Sometimes the cards don't fall the way you want them to fall, but you never know. Sometimes you don't know the significance of a moment until it becomes a memory. And then you think, actually, that's the Kickstarter for me. And Sheldon was the Kickstarter for me. And this whole platform, this whole kind of community, it's just been phenomenal. Every day's a learning day. And yeah, I look forward to it. I've just been into crypto about a couple of months. I've seen some highs, I've seen some crazy stuff with lots of tokens and monkey balls and crazy stuff. And then I've just lost it all. And I'm like, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So I think structure is important. And once you have the foundations, that's how you can build houses, build cities. Yeah, you've been really inspirational to me and my family. So thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing it. It definitely means a lot. And remember something, if you start off and let's say you've lost throughout your first year of trying and attempting this space, it's not worse than making $1 million and then losing it all. That's all that I want to say. Like, even though you come down and you enter this and you go down the trap, I promise you it's not worse. The worst thing is making all that money. And let's say another bull run comes and you do end up making hundreds of thousands, if not basic millions, and then still not being clued up and losing it all after that. I promise you, you beat yourself up way worse. So you've paid the lessons now. Luckily, there's still another bull run to come. I keep saying to everyone, imagine Bitcoin went to 200,000 last year. Then what? When would ever be the opportunity again? You would have learned throughout that whole time. The bull run would have been finished. And then you would be skillful, but now there's no money to be offered, so you still have another bull run to come. The fact that Bitcoin's back at 16K and you're still here, doesn't matter the losses, you still have another bull run to come. And that's what you got to excite your.
It's like you said about having a reset. It's like everything's reset. It's like, I think the universe has kind of given a lot of people a second chance to say, okay,
exactly,
this is what it is. And now it's just like, right, okay, we've given you a second chance, and not many people do have the opportunity. So what do you want to do? But you have a choice. So you can choose to do it.
And that's exactly how you have to look at it. The sad truth of it is a lot of people are going to come back when it's 60K again. Yeah. They left when they bought at 60, they sold at 20, and then they come back at 60. And it's just the sad truth. And it just shows how powerful this crypto system that they built. It's powerful. It's powerful for 80% to 70% of people to lose their money, and the 30% make all that money from the 70 to 80%. And that's the crazy of it. So if you master the skill, you make a lot of money. It's not like you make a little bit of money, you make tons of money by learning the skill, because the people are just going to keep losing, and it's a rinse and repeat. They come in, they get flushed out, they come in. Like, how many guys, I know them as well, that came in on the top of 2017. Okay, they then got flushed out through that time, and they came in the top of 2021 again for the second time in a row, and they'll probably come again in 2024 at the top. It's crazy. So well done on sticking through and seeing it that way, that you still have that shot. Get good now.
I've got the fire in my belly. The fire is in my belly.
You got one more bull run, brother. You got one more bull run. Like, that's the one you got to do it.
Yeah, I think it's also important to remember that you don't actually lose, you learn. As long as you're losing and learning a lesson, you're winning at the end of the day, because remember, those lessons are going to be worth a lot more to you in life than the winning trade will. So losing but learning the lesson is actually very valuable. So just always make sure when you do lose that you actually learn what the lesson was in that loss.
Thank you very much.
Very, very true. Thank you, brother.
Amazing. Thanks, Darren. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's hear from Beth. Let me unmute you, Beth. There we go. You should have permission now. Taking a moment. There we go.
Hey guys,
What's
thank
up?
you, Sheldon. Your story like brought me to tears as well, because my dad died at a young age too, like not the same way, but I was like, oh my God, crying for days. So
sorry.
like a lot of people on here, I got wiped out. I was an ambassador for Voyager, bringing celebrities and directly or indirectly, but I did not give up. Been learning and learning everything. I took the first crypto venture school, had a podcast for 10 years. So my goal is to one day work with you guys, but not yet. Got to get better. I will say it's very motivating, and the team, the community, this is the best community in the crypto industry. I need to learn how to short though. Every time I short, I lose. But every time I long, I can, you know, so I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, then you're going to love this lesson. You're going to love this lesson then that I'm going to teach you tonight. You're going to love it.
Yay. Thank you guys so much for all your hard work. Mama Sniper, bowing.
The queen.
Yes, yes.
Amazing. Thanks, Beth. Thank you.
Guys, remember, in order to guarantee your spot in the next cohort, only 5,000 spots available. You must use a link below to sign up on exchange. You must then click on the register to Sniper School, and then you must enter in your user ID, and that's what will guarantee your spot. Only 5,000 spots available.
Let's hear from Patricio Marquez.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patricio from Mexico. First of all, thank you very much for the opportunity of being here with you guys. I've been a follower
Absolute pleasure.
of the Crypto Banter family for a long time, and I always wanted to get to know a little bit more about trading and stuff. And this course has really helped me a lot to hold on, especially be patient, because like the other guy said a few moments ago, you see a green candle and you just put a long and suddenly the markets go down and you get completely wrecked. So yeah, right now I've been trying to practice a little bit on my BitGet account, to do small trades of $10 to $5, trying to read a little bit more and that practice, and don't get FOMOing, because I lost some money on the Luna crash. And since then I have been just like, hey, I need to study a little bit more about all of this before getting into it like real time. So it's been amazing, and the courses and the materials that you have provided so far has been very, very good. Thank you.
That means a lot. Firstly, I want to say you have a badass workshop. Is that a workshop?
Yes.
That's cool. I love it. I love that your trading den is in your workshop. Like, that's cool.
I'm sorry about this whole right. I don't use this for dancing though. It's because it's over here that it's a mess. Sorry about the mess, everyone. No,
I love it. You've just given me inspiration. I want the same. I want a workshop, and I want my trading den in the workshop too. That's cool.
Well, we can share lessons. I can show you how to use a lathe. Maybe we can make a couple of cool
that
things.
sounds fantastic. Okay, cool. You do the school, and then after that you teach me. I'm down. I'm definitely down. Just to jump on that, yeah, that's exactly what this is going to be. Ultimately, out of this whole course, I want to give you that full little system that you just follow on a day-to-day basis. Don't like your emotions mean nothing at the end of the day, because they are going to try put you off track. They're going to try make you fall in love, and make you think the way you want to think, which is fine. You're allowed to listen to them, but ultimately, we're going to build a bulletproof system that works with your strengths and weaknesses, so that all you have to do, that's what I'm about to show you tonight, is the different time frames and how to ultimately, set a strategy and structure and a rule system for every single type of trader that you can be in this market. And all you have to do is, whenever you want to shift into one of them, you already have that system built for you. So what it's going to take, guys, is the next 2 to 3 weeks of us building the foundation. We're going to build foundations now. And we have the team here because they're going to sit here and say that they only picked up some of these steps a week ago after being in this market for the last 5 to 6 years. We're going to save you all that time by building you every single time frame, understanding what system you need for every single type of trader you want to be. So let's say one day you get a weekend off work, or you get a few days off work. You can flip into a short-term trader for those 2 days to make some extra cash. Or now you're busy and you don't have time for the next 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Now you flip into a swing trader, for those 2 weeks. And ultimately, we're going to teach you how you can become a different one at any point in your life. And then secondly, above that, we can create a roadmap on when you want to upgrade to the next one. So end of the day, if you ever want to take crypto full time and you want to live on crypto, I want you to be comfortable when you take that step. You can't jump in and take that step on $2,000, but you need to make $2,000 a month.
then you're making your life extremely hard. But ultimately, if we get you to a 20K account or something to where you need to be, then it's easier for you to take the step and dedicate more time into trading. And that's what I want to show you, how we create this roadmap. And when you get there, what type of trader do you transform into? And when you get there, now let's say you have to trade, you have to transform into a swing trader, right? Then you get there and you don't know how to be a swing trader. You're just going to go through the cycle again. I want by the time you get to the next level of a trader, you already have the foundation, you already have the system in play. And that ultimately just takes the next 2-3 weeks for us to build that. And when we're there, you can flip into whatever needs. So when you get there, you're not surprised. Why do people lose money in this market? Because they get there and they don't know what to do next. People make so much money on the pump, they don't know what to do next. And that's why they lose it. But if you preempt and you're already structured and planned for when you get there, what you do next, you're not surprised. I'm not surprised that I 200x money. Like, I'm not surprised, because when I was broke ass then, I was sitting and I was like, when I get there, this is what I'm doing. And when I get there, this is what I'm doing. And like, ultimately by me getting there, like, I wasn't taking it, I wasn't so emotionally attached when I got there, and I could flip into this next version of me, which was great because I pre-built it before I got there. And that's the big skill I want to teach you throughout this. Save yourself the time. I'll ask you the question now, Patricia. If you have $1 million, what do you do? What type of trader are you? What are you doing after that?
If I had $1 million, I will pay the hospital bills that I still owe for 5 years now. And then I will take my family for vacations, and then I will continue studying about trading. I will not feel comfortable just by winning $1 million on one day. Like, we need to continue studying. That's what I would.
So what I would do is I would have the $1 million as my bank. I would then create 2 businesses, one that's specifically for your medicals. I'll make a second one that's specifically for your holidays. And I'd have those 2 accounts running to pay this off. So that's $1 million still stays in your account. The goal is to never take from your gold, ever. That's your business. That is something that you can always grow on and always restart with. So you never take from it. I will teach you the skill of how you generate a wallet or exchange account or anything like that that is specifically for those hospital bills. That's what you learn in this journey. Be grateful you are here in the bear market, because there's no time to learn in the bull market. 0 time. When it's bull market time, it's money time. That's all that we got. And you got to be very serious. Like, build everything now. When I get there, this is what I'm doing. Then after that, I'm building this and building that. Like, have this whole roadmap set out. So when the bull run starts, you can apply. You're not confused when you get there. Once I hit 100K, this is what happened next. Then once I hit this, this is what happened next. And ultimately, all of your hard work now in the bear market, it makes it such a breeze. And you know why? Everyone will say the question to me, how do you know when to take profits? That's the biggest question that you get. By you preempting and actually building this roadmap, you know exactly when to take profits. You don't care what the FUD is after that. You don't care where the RSIs are. You don't care where anything. When that first target is hit, it's done. You've already built it. And that's going to be the hard part. When we hit that bull run again, I'm going to be there saying, guys, where's your maps? Where's your maps? Take your damn thing. Like, I'm going to be there to be like, listen. Remember, I spoke about it this morning, guys. I bought my lady a car 6 months ago off one trade, and it was a Q3, Audi Q3. And when it got there and I was about to go buy that car, in my head was like, maybe I should go get a Q5, maybe a Q7. Do you see how all of a sudden this brain of mine switches, where I planned this thing for the last 6 months? I finally made it happen. And last minute, my brain tries to trick me. It tries to tell me, no. Let's get a fancier car. Let's get an even better one. Do you see that sort of thing? And that's the hard part, guys. That's the hard part. But if I give you the formula and I give you the indicators and I give you the tools and I tell you when this hits that and you just follow that directly throughout the bull market, you're going to be incredibly surprised, not only how much money you make, how smart you damn come with money. And for the rest of time, I will sleep at night, you'll sleep at night, because you can do this at any time again in your life. And that's the incredible part, is learning it for life, that you have the skill whenever the hell you damn need it. You can become any trader you need, and you can even teach after that, which I'm sure a lot of you will. You'll go help the rest of the stuff. That's the power of it. Sorry, Jenna, I get passionate. Keep
no,
going.
this is amazing.
Thank you, Patricia.
I'm smiling because the commentary. Someone's saying, "Can you get them a car as well?" So I think that's the perfect introduction for us to move on. So to the people who've still got hands up and wanted to share, my apologies, but I think we're definitely going to move on. having had that amazing introduction from Sheldon. So I think let's dive right into the live trade. Let's give them the alpha that everyone's looking for, and let's see what we can take away tonight.
There was a comment there. Sorry, it's about 120 comments back from where it is now, but I thought it was a really good one from a Patty. And she said that the trading journal is great. 2 wins, 8 losses. I hope to learn what to do differently. And what I wanted to add to that trading journal is 2 wins and 8 losses is fine. It's actually great, as long as your 8 losses were tiny losses and your 2 wins were big wins. So it's okay to take 8 losses, but make them small and make the wins big. So
yes. So I think, guys, like, while Craig's here, this is my mentor. This is the man, and the reason why I'm in trading, in crypto himself. He's been through 2 bull runs now. He's been through chaos throughout this. And for the first time, Craig, tell them, for the first time, you are going through a crypto dump and you have money. Not even have money, you got out. This is after 5 years, guys. This is why we're doing this and why we teach you guys. 5 years, and for the first time, you're sitting on some cash and the market's going down. How good does that feel?
It's the greatest feeling ever, because all I know is the amount of coins that I had before. And as the market is dropping, I can just see how many more coins I'm going to be buying as the market drops. And you know, what a crazy thing when you think that, for example, Phantom was $3, I don't know, $3.30 at its high.
340, yeah.
Not that I got out up there, but I mean, we're down at like, I don't know, 18 cents or something now. And what an amazing thing to know that I can buy so many more tokens for 1/10 of the price. As Sheldon was saying, just 1/10 of what you used to have before buys you what you had in the bull market. So,
and guess what? Andre's back. When he left, it was $3.
Yeah, Andre's
Remember,
back.
he's back.
No trading advice right now because the market's still going down. But that's the principle that we have to know and taking forward. You know.
And Craig, I think the last thing. Sorry. Continue.
No, what you had at the top of the bull cycle, 10% of that buys that same amount of tokens. How is that?
Amazing.
It's crazy, bro. And there's some coins that are down 98%, 95%. 2% of what you put in buys the same amount of tokens. Same team, same fundamentals, same everything. And I think the last thing before I jump into these time frames, guys, Craig, what is the power of thinking differently when you're in and out of the market? So you said for the first time 2-3 weeks ago you got out, and I said, but what is it mentally? You know, what does it do mentally when you're in that trade, when you're in everything in the market, compared to when you're actually not and you're sitting back? It's like you basically have a way more clearer thought process. You know what I mean? Because you know more.
Once you're in drawdown, emotionally it plays havoc with you, because you know it was at that price and you start beating yourself up and you say, I should have got out. Why didn't I get out? And that mentally starts really affecting you. And that's a really bad place to be. And that's why it's so important, as I said earlier, to take your losses quickly so that you're not in that mental frame. And also once you get into drawdown, you go into this phase of hope, praying to the crypto gods, as it were, for Bitcoin just to bounce, you know, and you just see it going down and down, and you know how many dollars you had. So we don't want you to get into that situation. We want you to learn to be able to take those losses, put your pride away, and take those losses quickly. I mean, I had a good example just last night. I was in a leveraged long on Solana the whole weekend, and this thing was bleeding. I was at a loss, and last night it came up a little bit, and I thought, you know what, take a $300 loss, which is what I did do. And it hurt my pride to take a $300 loss. But when I woke up this morning, had I not taken the $300 loss, I would have been liquidated for $4,000. It's easy to say.
Sold too soon. Sold too soon, Craig. Sold too soon, man. Sold too soon.
Wow, we're the man.
I would have been liquidated this morning.
No, it's true. It's true, Craig. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, exactly that,
yeah,
bro.
Craig, right.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
oh, Ran, no, you're in bed there, bro.
You know, it's dark here. I've just put the kids to bed, so I'm here. I'm listening. I'm learning how to be a trader, because you know, I'm not a trader. I'm much more an investor. So I'm here absorbing the amazing wisdoms.
Yeah, over 1,300 people throughout the 2 things today. Incredible.
Broken all the records, and I'm watching the comments. That's actually why I logged on, because people said to me, you got to look at the comments. The engagement and the appreciation is absolutely insane.
People are incredible, bro. This is what we started. Dude, remember when we started? The first thing that this is what we started. We need to make a school.
Yeah.
And finally,
listen,
we've done it.
I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to interrupt.
Thank you, bro.
I am here. I am listening. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, bro. Cool. Okay. Amazing. I'll go through a few questions. So remember, I just want to explain something for the week. We have the Tuesdays and Thursday nights where I'm on Discord. So please go jump on there and basically have the forums in the Discord groups as well. And please use those forums to ask any basic questions. And any like exchange questions or these sort of things, I'll answer there. But please use those week calls to come and ask for me to answer any of the other basic questions. I'm there half an hour, 45 minutes, twice a week to answer all of those things. And please pop the questions there because it's basically saves them there and it creates a database for us. So if anyone ever has those questions going forward and we've answered them, people can go and actually go back on them. So guys, I think the biggest thing going into now, you're learning the basics of understanding stop loss, take profits, all these sort of things. That's great. You're understanding the exchanges and ultimately you're understanding trading journal. What is a trading journal? A trading journal is something that you use to look at your data. That's all that it's doing. It's looking at how good you are and where is your starting point. Off of that, we are able to build rule systems and structure of things that you suck at. That the biggest thing with trading is it will be very brutally honest with you. If you suck at being greedy, it's going to clearly show to you without any worry. It doesn't care about your feelings. It's going to show to you clearly. If you're a very fearful trader, it's the same thing. So ultimately, by you looking at that data, you got to look at yourself as a third person to say, how good am I out of 10 trades right now? Someone said earlier that they 2 trades out of 10. Fantastic. We have a starting point for you, which is brilliant. And what we're going to do with that, guys, is I'm going to give you a homework after the session to take a small school fees account and to go take 5 trades. We took one this morning with the stop hit, which is fantastic. And ultimately, I'm going to teach you guys how to take these trades. And then after that, I'm going to take a few people from the audience and take their data. And I'm going to start building these powerful systems in front of you guys so you can see how to do it with your own data. You need to take everything I'm teaching you and you have to mold it into your specific life and ultimately what you want to build out of trading. Now, the first big thing that I saw was the understanding of time frames. You're about to go into the second week, and I know a lot of people have gone into the second week already, and they're learning the trend lines and all the different tools, which is powerful, okay? But I want to explain to you the power of time frames and how to understand them. Because if you understand them, people think they need to know multiple time frames. No, you don't. You need to have a system for each time frame, because what does a time frame indicate? It gives you a specific amount of data that you need to know for a specific trade or something. For example, I want to trade for today. I don't care about what happens next week. I don't care what happens in 3 days' time. I just want to know, where can I make $20 today? There's a time frame for you. Now, people will jump between 2-3 time frames for that single day, which is wrong. You should only be focusing on that one specific time frame. It's the same if you're working part-time or you're working full-time and you can only do 1 trade a week. You don't want to see data for the next year. You want to see what trade can I make in the next week. And that's where the power of these different time frames have. So what I want you guys to do, I'm about to save you years of work right now by understanding this, because we're about to build a structure together. And I saw the people this morning understand the power of this. I'm going to show you the different time frames and show you the power of them. You have the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 8 hour, the 12 hour, the daily, and the weekly, even the monthly. Okay. Then what I want you to do is I want you to write all of those time frames in a book. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a basic structure for each of those time frames in your book. Now, why are we doing that? Because I'm about to build you the foundation that you can flip into any trader whenever you want, because you understand what tool you need or what time frame you need when you need to be that trader, and ultimately what you can expect in each specific time frame. Now, for example, let me show you guys what I actually mean by all of this. Now, the first tool that you're going to use, you're going to learn it in the second week now, and I'm sure a lot of you have, is the stochastic RSI. Okay, now stochastic RSI for me is just a tool to help you understand a time frame. Okay, very important. And what you have with this is you basically have the lines when they're at the overbought, sorry. Basically, when the RSI makes its way up to an overbought position. After that, we usually have a pullback to the oversold position. Then we have an overbought. And the way this works is I want you to take your stochastic RSI. So I'm going to go to a normal example over here. And I want you to understand this just as a basic understanding. Whenever we are above 90% on the stochastic, so just write this in your book, guys. Whenever we're above 90% and the lines cross, the orange and the blue cross each other, would be a sell signal, get out of the market signal. Okay, doesn't matter the time frame, just the basic tool understanding. Then when you're wanting to buy, it's the 15% mark and lower. So the top is the 90. See, they show you a standard of 80. I'm saying 90. I've learned this tool and I'm giving you my specific threads on how it works. So 90%, then the bottom is 15. So 15 and lower is your area of building along. And up here, it's either closing along or building an actual short. Okay, great. Now that we have that little understanding, I will actually, let me actually do this for you guys quickly. I will actually put this link and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. Then you guys have it. Chat will probably go wild for a little while. To everyone in the meeting. There we go, guys. So try not chat just for a little bit. Let everyone get the link. There's the link. Okay, so you can use that as a nice little basis for you. Now let me explain how this actually works. I want to know what each time frame does for me. So end of the day, what I'm doing is I'm measuring when the market is oversold, overbought, and for me, that was one trade. It was a long. Okay, then from the top to the bottom, that was another trade. That was a short. Okay, just a trade to the downside. From the bottom to the top, it was a long. Short, long, short, long, short. Okay. Then what I did was I marked it out on the actual chart. Okay. Now what's beautiful about this is sometimes the RSI will go at the bottom for a while to go at the top. It doesn't matter. The first cross of those lines that you get on the top side above the 90% is your get out signal. The first cross, doesn't matter if it sits there for a while, the first cross at the bottom to the upside is the buy signal. Okay, so you can see sometimes it'll get me out here, even though price went up a little bit more. It doesn't matter. It's showing me the actual time frame. And what you would have seen is on the 8 hour, in the last 40 days, you would have only had the total of 8 trades. Okay, that was the amount of times that the RSI reset in both directions. Okay, so from top to bottom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. 8 times, and now would be hitting the 9th time now for the 9th trade to be opening. Now, this, remember, I'm going to give you trend lines. I'm going to give you support and resistance. I'm going to give you extra tools that's going to help you get those entries and put stop losses. You want to understand that the 8 hour is showing me one thing. It's showing me that over the last 40 days, I would have been offered 8 trades on this time frame. Roughly every 5 days, a trade would have been available. Okay? Now, we had someone that said there that they're only good at longing the market. They don't know how to short. Okay, now remember, you can be a one-directional trader. Me and Run are probably the best long traders. We're really good in a bull market. We're learning in the bear markets and ultimately that, but we ultimately positive thinkers. We always want the market to go up, which is great. But this bear market's taught me the skill of also making money when the market's going down. But ultimately, if you are only a long trader, you would have had 4 available trades in that time. And that means every 10 days, you would have had a trade available. Okay. Shorts, you would have had 4. Every 10 days, you would have had a trade available. So in total, an 8 hour shows me that in the last 40 days, I could have taken 8 trades. Now, what's beautiful about knowing this? Write that down in your book now, because whenever in your life you're busy and you're working and you can't trade all the time right now, but you can trade on the side, does this time frame match your life? I need to know how much time do you have available and how much money do you have? Remember, we're building a full system for you. Now you understand that the 8 hour alone, without any time frames, this is what it offers me. It offers me 8 trades in a month. 4 longs and 4 shorts. Fantastic. Now I have a basic understanding. Let me show you the next one. Guys, this is important. Take it now and write this 8 hour thing in your diaries and your books now, because you're doing the work and you understand what that time frame is. You're not caring about any other ones. Yes.
Sheldon, sorry to jump in. I saw there was a question, and perhaps this is something that some other people need clarity on. Just a reminder about the difference between the short and the longs, sort of from a definitions or concept perspective. If you can maybe just take a moment to revise that for some people who might be still confused about it.
Yeah. So longing is when you want to buy, when you're expecting the market to go up, and shorting is when you sell and you're expecting the market to come down. So ultimately on spot and things that you'll learn later on in the course is you can make dollars when the market's going up and you can make tokens when the markets are coming down. Or if you do a 1x on the leverage platform, no leverage at all, you can short for dollars as well. So you can make money, you can make actual dollars if the market goes down. And there's no liquidations, there's none of those things, which I'll show you guys a little bit later on the thing. So longing, you're expecting the market to go up, shorting, expecting the market to go down. Very simple concept. So now, guys, the second one now is the 1 hour chart. Okay. And the same thing. All I care is the first cross over 90% on the top and the first cross below 15% on the bottom. And what it would have given me is the basic understanding that in the last 7 days, I would have had 9 trades available on this time frame alone, just this time frame, giving me an average of every 18 hours a trade is available. So if you want to become a short time frame trader, you want to trade often. I want to trade every day. Why are you caring about the 4 hour and the 8 hour when they're only offering you those certain amounts of trades? The 1 hour chart is offering you this amount. And basically it says that in the last 7 days, you would have had 5 long opportunities. Just make this bigger. 5 long opportunities and 4 short opportunities. Now, do you see the power on why we say, I want to teach you how to make money if the market's going up and if the market's going down? Look how you double the amount of trades as a short-term trader or as any sort of trader by understanding the skill of both. If you understand only one direction trade, then you'll see that there's a lot less of them. They're still active. You still get a good, you would have had 5 longs out of 7 days. That means you nearly have a trade every day out of the longs. But ultimately, you would have had way more opportunities if you understood both. And it's the same for a person that just shorts. They don't know how to long. They're good at shorting. People like shorting right now. I saw someone in the comments said, I'm making a lot more money shorting these days. That's great, but you're going to get destroyed in a bull market and it gets really hard because you're in that mentality of shorting, markets going down, markets going down. It's going to turn. It's going to pull back. It's going to pull back. But in a bull market, that baby just doesn't stop, and it doesn't stop for like 9 months. And ultimately you get stuck. So you have to learn the skill of both. But ultimately now you understand that the 1 hour chart offers me every 18 to 24 hours, I can get a trade. Fantastic. Now it's in your book and you understand that's exactly what the 1 hour time frame without any other time frame. Now you know what that does for you. Let's go to the next one.
Sheldon, just before you continue, there's a repeat question coming through in the comments that I think is really good. The guys are basically asking, does this strategy work for every coin, or is this just for the big guys, ETH and Bitcoin, where you have this repetition of trades? You can able to take so many.
It works on every single token. The only difference is the range. So this is what you're going to learn next week, is the percentages, your risk to reward. That's all that's going to change. So ultimately, on every token, this works. It doesn't matter. The stochastic has always been one of the most powerful tools. The only difference is the percentages. Some tokens, if Bitcoin moves 10%, some tokens will move 50%. If Bitcoin falls 5%, some tokens will fall 20%. So you got to understand that the only difference with the tokens is it works the same is your percentages. So that's where the power of your portfolio comes in, and understanding that some part of your portfolio is safer risk, some is more medium, some is high risk. Small amounts of money in the high risk, and that will be on the lower time frames, crazy altcoins, because you get big gains if you get it right. And if you get smacked pretty hard. So you're going to learn the skill of splitting that portfolio and matching each part of that portfolio to a specific time frame, and only one time frame. Everyone thinks I need to look at the daily, the 8 hour, 12 hour. Yes, at times on the shows, I do say these 3 or that, but I have to give multiple opinions on different time frames to match all the different people out there that are doing different things. If you want to only trade twice a week, there's one time frame that you need, and you don't have to care about any other time frame. But I do want you to write the foundation of every time frame that's here so that you have it. So at any point you need to switch, maybe get 2 days off work. Oh, cool. Now let me trade some short time frame. Oh, let me jump on. Here's my foundation. Cool. This is the amount of trades I get. This is the amount of everything. The 1 hour is for me for the next 2 hours. Great. And then this is where the next live trading session is extremely powerful, is I'm going to show you all the tools on how we can really get those good entries and how we can put the stop loss in the right places and do all these sort of things. You first need to identify and understand your tools and your time frame of when you need to shift. Let's look at this one, for instance, and this is the daily. Okay, and this is where we made a mistake in the last, I think it was a week ago. We made the mistake, myself personally, where I did not listen to a part of my portfolio getting out, even though my indicator told me to. Same thing over here. From the bottom, 15%. To the 90% mark over here is the long, And you see how on the first one, I get out. This is just a small example. I'll give you the tools, but I don't care. You see, the market still went up after that. I don't care. I don't care. End of the day, I got myself an average of a tool that shows me when I get in, I get a good return to the upside and to the down. I don't care about the exact top, the exact bottom. I want a consistent way of actually working. But you would have seen that this would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and ultimately you'll be in your 8th trade now. And what it shows you is in the last 167 days, you would have had 8 trades available, showing you that you only would have had 1 trade every 20 days, 4 longs, 4 shorts. And ultimately what it would have done is you only would have longed the market every 40 days. You only would have had a chance to trade every 40 days long, every 40 days short on the thing. Do you see where the patience comes in here? Now, the only difference between the time frames that I've showed you guys is the percentages. And ultimately, the higher the time frame, the bigger percentages you have to the up or the downside. So these will work on, it comes with a lot more patience, but this is where your bigger part of your portfolios will run off of those specific sort of areas. But now you can write in your book that a 1-day chart shows me that gives me a trade every 20 days. And for me, it was quite crazy. And Mama Sniper could jump in here and definitely say, we had the signal to offload a part of our portfolio, and we damn didn't. We damn didn't. I still didn't. Like, sometimes we do well, guys. We do well, but ultimately we still don't always listen throughout those times. And it reminded us again of that our portfolio has to run on a system. Certain parts of my portfolio needs to be on this time frame. When this time frame tells me to do something, I need to listen to it. And ultimately, after that, you can see the markets have come down, 20% or so within the last week, throughout those times. But now I know that the weekly offers me this amount. Now, guys, people have jobs. People are busy throughout these times. This is an extremely powerful time frame that you use, but now you understand. I only need to trade once every 20 days. Now, this is the power of understanding the different time frames. If we had to jump to the weekly, it'll be even way worse. Way worse. I'll actually do it now quickly. Let's actually jump on over here and go to the weekly. And let me go to a clean Bitcoin chart here and actually show you guys just the basic concept of understanding it. This would have shown us that you only would have recently got out on this little top piece over here. But ultimately, you probably would have traded once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, all the way in the last. So you would have basically traded 6 times within the last year and a half throughout those times with a part of your portfolio throughout those times. But at least now what it shows me is only 6 trades in the last year and a half is the weekly. Do you see now how you can take your book and you have every single time frame? You have an understanding of what every single time frame offers you. It offers you a specific amount of zooming in or zooming out data that you can use at any part of your portfolio, any part in your life. And that is the skill of understanding when you're a trader to an investor. You can be all 3 of them. You can be a short-term trader, a medium-term trader, and a long-term trader. But you can't be using long-term analysis on your medium-term. As soon as you do that, you're ruining the whole system, and that's where you get screwed up. Now, for example, on that daily, this one over here, let me actually show you here. So if you look at the daily here, this was at the top, right? But guess what? We jumped to the 8-hour and 12-hour, and those were at the bottom. And we were like, you see, these are at the bottom. It should have one more push. No, the daily was at the top. So there's a part of my portfolio that I was supposed to listen to and get out throughout that time. That it was my longer term, bigger part of my portfolio. But I'm worried about the 8-hour and the 12-hour. No, those have a specific reason and a specific part. So it's teaching you the power of don't confuse yourself throughout the different time frames. Understand what trader you are on that specific trade and stick to the data that's there. Don't care what's above, don't care what's below. You now have the power of exactly what that is, and you need to shift. That's the skill, guys. Trading's not hard. TA is not hard throughout those things. It's understanding the different mindsets of each trader and the basic tools for each of them. So before I do jump on, is there any questions on this, guys? I see there is a hand up here, and I'll give someone the floor. Guys, are you enjoying this? Please pop a yes. Let me know if it's helping. Pop a yes. Give me a thumbs up. Are we loving this? That this is the yes, 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 yes. Oh, wow. Look at this chat. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. I'm so happy to be teaching again. Thank you for giving me the chance to teach, guys. You make me extremely happy.
Guys, remember to guarantee your spot in the next cohort. There's only 5,000 spots available. You need to sign up with the exchange link below. You need to register to Sniper School, and you need to put in your user ID, and that's what's going to guarantee your spot. Only 5,000 spots available.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Is Rand still on ya? Look at that. Incredible.
Sure.
Incredible, incredible.
Sure, I'm
Look
on
at
you,
that chat, bro.
No, it's insane. I mean,
incredible.
I must say the chat's insane, but the content is incredible. I'm actually listening here thinking, where am I making all the mistakes?
Oh, thank you, bro.
And I think you said one thing. You said one thing in the beginning. I didn't want to interrupt you, but me and you are optimists. So I'm an optimist. You're just a very happy, optimistic guy. And I'm an optimist because I'm too involved in the fundamentals. So because I'm so involved in the fundamentals, I'm always positive about the future of blockchain and blockchain technology. You're an optimist because you're just an optimist. You always see the good in every situation. And I think that in a bull market, I do very well because I understand the tech and the prices go up. But in a bear market, I can't pull myself out of the fundamentals. But now that I'm listening to this, if I can be more like a computer, then I can pull myself out of the fundamentals and start trading on the RSI and the time frames.
Exactly, bro. And I think that's just a skill. Like, you have a part of your portfolio, let it be that, you know, let that emotion behind us thinking, like, let it have that. But ultimately, other parts of the portfolio just follow the system. And I think it will just stop this like craziness. How many more bull runs do you think are left, Ron? Real bull runs. One more. I would say one more crazy one. After that, I don't know if we're going to have as much crazy ones again.
I think we'll keep having bull runs, but every time the bull runs are going to get less aggressive and less aggressive and less aggressive. Already we saw it on Bitcoin, where like the last bull run took us from $500 to $20,000, and then this bull run took us from 20,000 to 69,000. You know, like this is hardly a bull run. It was a 3x in Bitcoin. You know, and I think like if you look at the altcoins, the same thing happened. So I think you've got to master this for the next bull run, because I think if you miss the next bull run, then I think crypto is going to be like trading stocks.
No, I agree.
So,
I feel we got one more run, and like, it's beautiful how you can set this foundation before you go into it. I think we all try to figure out when we're in it, and that's where the trick comes, because that's the time to make money. That's the time to be focused. And
but I must say, like, I've never spent this much time like listening to the strategies, obviously. And now that you're giving the strategy, it's like you make it sound so simple. It's just a couple of rules. Just stick to the rules. Just watch the RSIs,
Exactly.
watch the time frame.
That was what we're doing.
Write down your
bro.
trades. Write down your trades. Just make sure. Like, I'm just thinking now, if I were to write down my last 10 trades, I'd probably get trade-wise, not investment-wise. Trade-wise, I'd probably 9 out of 10 would probably be dead. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone says
Okay.
stop this.
Exactly. Thank you, bro.
You know me too well. Okay, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm listening.
Cool. So guys, I'm going to answer a few questions here. So I know there's a few hands and we'll get to them now. Are these no stop loss strategy? Guys, this is no strategy at all. I just taught you the time frames. We're going to get into trend lines and Fibonacci and all the tools that are going to help you get those entries and where to put your stop loss and risk to reward. This was just the skill of understanding time frames. Now you understand what a 1 hour time frame does for you. You understand what an 8 hour time frame does for you. You understand what a 4 hour, like, now you understand the time frames. Now we can start building strategies on each time frame. So whenever you need to shift, you have the step-for-step method that I use these 3 tools. When this one ticks, I can take the trade on the 1 hour. Like, do you see how we now set each and every single time frame for you? And I give you the tools. Throughout this week, everyone's still doing the learning the tools and stuff. Next week, we jump into the strategies, and this is where I really deep dive into everything. But let's talk about time frames, guys. Anyone that's Gina, I see a few hands up here.
Sheldon,
let's get into some questions.
Sheldon, why don't you give us just a small taste of, like, because I think if we watch the videos next week, but we have context in terms of what we're looking for, I think it'll make it a lot of fun.
Okay, cool. Straight after these questions, I'll do it. No problem.
Yeah, just tease us, just show us like one trade and show us the whole strategy. I think it'll be so amazing.
Okay, amazing. I will. No problem.
On time frame, Sheldon, just before we take a question, something's been coming up in the chat a few times, is what to do when the different time frames say do different things.
Okay, so remember, when you're about to take a trade, what part of your portfolio are you about to trade? And that's what I just said, that's what I just spoke about now, is to understand that I have time to take one trade this week. So this is the time frame that I take that trade on. You don't jump to any other time frames now, because they're not relevant to what you need to do right now. I don't know the amount of time that you have and the amount of money you're going to put into this trade. But ultimately, if I give you all the time frames, you need to only use one time frame. You don't care what the rest of them said. You really don't. You don't care what the daily says. You don't care this. If all that you want to do is make one trade for the week, you focus only on the 4 hour. That's it. The rest creates confusion. It creates ones at the bottom, ones at the top, ones at the this. Why? Because they're giving you different data. The one is showing you data for the next 5 days. The one showing you data for the next 3 weeks. The one showing you data for the next 6 months. Why are you using 6 months data if you only want to make a trade for the week? You see, that's where it comes. It's specifically understanding using one time frame for that exact trade. The only thing that will change to different time frames is different parts of your portfolio for different reasons. Remember, guys, I have one portfolio that I use sometimes to make for petty cash. And that one only runs on the 4 hour when I want to make some spare cash. But then I have another portfolio that makes me salary every month and tries to get me that every month. And that only trades twice a month. Do you remember how I say that each of these wallets are separate businesses for you and each wallet has a specific reason? All you're doing now is taking your business and you're matching it with the right time frame. That's all that you're doing. Then you're splitting your portfolio and matching it with the right funds. That's it. So whenever this business performs, it only performs on this time frame and on these tools. Whenever this business runs, it only forms on this time frame and these tools. It's just categorizing your life. And for the first time, it's structured. So Gina, I think let's jump into some questions.
For sure, for sure. I'm also just seeing requests. Will people get a screenshot or a downloadable version of the things that you've shown us in this call? Will you be able to share that with us so we can post it in Discord for people to review, aside from coming back in to watch the recording?
With pleasure. I'll even do all the time frames for everyone. I'll do the 1 hour,
amazing.
4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, daily, weekly, and monthly. With
Amazing.
a smile. Okay.
Amazing. Cool. Let's hear from Loki.
How's everybody doing today? What's up, Sheldon?
What's up, bro? What's up?
Man, same old brother, just trying to make it.
Amazing.
I got 2 questions for you on real quick. I like the idea of like to have the different portfolios, I mean the different trades for different expectations, like for like a petty cash one, a weekly income driver, a monthly salary driver. Okay. The question I have for that one is, how do you separate between those 3? Like, are you using 3 different exchanges to kind of keep them separate together, or you getting them and then you put them in wallets in 3 different kind of subcategories in your wallet?
So obviously the ones that are very high time frame, longer views can run in wallets. But what I do, guys, it does create slightly a bit more maintenance, but I do have them all on different exchanges. And the only reason I do that is because I don't want my one business to affect my other. Sometimes maybe your one business now goes through 2 losses now. You have to rebuild that business. If you have another one that's sitting next to it, let's say in a sub account, or you have anything like that, you're going to be tempted to take from the one business. And that's going to teach you the wrong thing. It's basically putting a plaster on something when it's not healed. So you need to learn that if your one business is suffering, you need to fix the foundation of that business. You can't go and pull from another business now to fix your problem temporary because you don't know the core. This is where your losses and your trading journal comes in, because it's going to tell you 100% straight. You were way too greedy for the last 3 trades because you were in profit for the first half of them, but you never damn took them. You know what I mean? And it's going to teach you and give very honest of you. And you're going to use that data to keep building and fixing that foundation. Don't mix them. So it is a little bit more maintenance, but have multiple exchanges. And that's why we talk about, this is why we also have the different exchanges of Bybit, BitGet, OKX. Like, this is why we have all of them, because I use every single one for a different business. And that's why they're not together, because otherwise I can just, keep healing it and keep using that. And that's the problem, bro. You're temporary fixing the problem. Rather fix the foundation. If one business is suffering, fix it. Use your data, understand why it's suffering, and then we start playing with the tools and changing on how we can fix that. And ultimately, you're going to learn how to make all these businesses powerful.
Okay. Last question is as far as the RSIs go, which one is the lead indicator on the RSI, the blue one or the orange one? And also, do you like, if you're on the hourly and you're looking for an entry, do you go to the 15 to look for a good entry spot? Like when that one low, that's a good entry, or do you just say the heck with the 15? I'm just gonna wait until the RSI is at the bottom of the 1 hour and I'm jumping in no matter where the 15 at.
Okay, amazing. So on the way up, on the RS side, the blue one is the leading. On the way down, the orange one is the leading. So they basically, so blue is leading on the way up and orange is leading on the way down. On your second question of about the time frames, no. So yes, we had the question this morning. You can jump in if you want to try sniper entry and just make sure you can see the candles better and the numbers and stuff, but you cannot use 15 minutes analysis on a 1 hour trade. You can't do that because it's going to make you preempt. And let me show you an example of that. If there's a trend line and all of a sudden the market breaks out and you buy half of it, and then it comes down to test on the 15 minutes, maybe it comes in a little bit and it closes there. You're going to now sit different. You're going to be like, this thing's faking out. This thing's faking out. Let me get out. But yet the 1 hour, there's a little wick, it closes above and it's healthy and it goes. Do you see how the 15-minute would have tried to change your view on it, or it would have given you a different thought because it's different analysis. It's a different time frame and a different view of things. So don't complicate the two. You can jump in if it's easier to see. Maybe you can't see your trend line nicely and maybe you can zoom in, but don't change your analysis compared to, like, don't use that. Yeah, cool. Thank you, bro.
Cool. Thanks,
Next one.
Loki. Let's hear from Karam. You've had a hand up for a while. Let's unmute you. I think you're unmuted. And then I'm also, I saw a question from Wayne, was it Wayne Murray? So Wayne Murray, if you're hearing me, you can come up next after Karam. Go for it.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Sheldon. Hi, everyone.
What's up, bro?
Good. Yeah, first of all, thank you very much to you and everyone involved in these courses. I have been to the crypto school and now in the sniper school, and I can tell you in the last few months, my learning curve has been flying exponentially.
I'm glad you've done both. That's really good.
And I wish I learned all of this before I put my portfolio in, and it's now minus 60%, but that's part now. So fresh start with what I have.
That's pretty good, bro. 60% is a lot better than others.
Yeah, I mean, 10% of my capital went for Luna. So yeah, not the greatest of the events. But time will fix itself, I believe. Loki has already asked my question, so it's kind of a follow-up one. So what I used to do, I'm a swing trader myself. That's how I define myself, and I trade mostly on the daily. And what I used to do is basically I look for a 4-hour entry. So say now, it happened to me last night, and that's like the experience I had, and I want to share it. The daily was top, and I was waiting for the 4-hour to top as well to get a better entry, like it was 16,500 or so. And I had a feeling it might push a little bit more up. And this morning, the RSI turned in no man's land, and I missed the holy trade. So my kind of follow-up question would have been, would you use a lower time frame for entries when you trade the higher time frames, which clearly your answer would be no.
No.
So basically,
no.
When you trade on it, go ahead.
No, so it sucks when you miss it because you're one time frame trader and you have to wait for all of those signs and that to come again. But ultimately you have to learn that skill. End of the day, you'll have another portfolio that's shorter time frame. That if you have a smaller portfolio that is shorter time frame, go for it.
Yeah.
But you can't run that business and change it now. If you change a business fundamentally, ask Ron, he's building Banton. I imagine he changes his whole business fund, like everything behind it. He changes it overnight. Like the whole thing's going to fall apart.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's so you cannot change it. You cannot change it. And you'll actually be very grateful because you will see why that actually happened. And by being patient for those signs to come again, you'll see how later on or the next trade would be a way better trade for you. You'll actually be very thankful for all these tools when that happens. And the power of not pushing that button and trying to jump to a smaller time frame, you can't change, guys. You've made your mind that this portfolio trades in this way. You can't go and change it last minute. How do you expect to become a good money person and successful trades if you're changing the fundamentals of it every time?
Yeah, that makes total sense. And so then my next question would be, now we know that these days the market just goes based on news and so on. So say now I'm shorting based on the daily RSI, but then something bullish happened and the market went against me. Would you go into a couple of entries to get a better average and hope that the RSI goes in your favor afterwards? Or it's how do you deal with these situations? Because I'm gonna enter.
That's why you always short at resistance and why you always buy at support.
Yeah.
Because as soon as one of them break, they always test again, and then they go in that direction. So very simple. This is why you learn not to short or when the market's coming down. You learn to short when the market's going to resistance, it breaks a trend, and you get out. Because worst scenario, it breaks through, it tests, and then it goes up. And ultimately, you got stopped out for 3 or 4% or whatever it is, but now you're buying a confirmation long to the upside now. And that's how you make sure, is to make sure that you're always selling at resistance and you're always buying at support, because support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. That's the way of trading. And it's quite simple. You know what I mean? It's quite simple with that. That's why you do that.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. Yeah. Thank you very much. And
it's a pleasure. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Cheers.
Cool.
Next one.
Cool. Let's move on. So Wayne, I'm not sure if you were able to unmute. I don't see you on my screen, but I will just mention the question because it might prove useful to other people. And then I think we'll take one more before we move on, Sheldon. So Wayne's question was, does TradingView automatically set the RSI for each time frame, or do you have to go in and reset anything?
No, it's automatically, it's set as it is, and that's it. You don't change it. You leave it as it is, or the default settings.
Okay,
brilliant. And it sets itself already.
I have a question. Sorry. How does TradingView calculate the RSI? Like, what is the RSI? How does
I think it's very similar to moving averages.
It's the relative strength index. That's the actual name of it.
No, I know what it stands for. I'm just wondering, where do they get the relative strength from? Like, what is the relative strength? I wonder what the formula is.
I'm sure Craig will know that answer. That's what I love about TA. Like, I don't know why a trend line works. I don't know why a moving average works. I don't know why I stock, but they work. And then for me, that's what keeps the emotion out of it. And imagine knowing everything. That's when it sort of gets a bit more. I think, Craig, if you know the answer there, I just know that it works, and I know it tells me when it's overbought and when it's oversold, and that's all that I need to know for money. Like, I don't need to know what it is or who created it.
There's some smarty pants in the comments section that are answering this question for us.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Price and volume, and then someone's actually got Tom Voss got a little calculation here. So I'm sure we can all research that and figure that out. Just off the back of that as well, Sheldon, someone was asking, a few people, if you're trading using the stock RSI, can you set an alarm to let you know when it reaches 90% or 15%?
Oh, guys, yes. So I just want to show you here as we're continuing. So guys, there was Black Friday on Friday, 60% off on TradingView, and today's the Monday, it's 60% off. So even if it's level 1, just get it so that you can put alarms. Because the problem is with the free one, you got the ads and you can't put alarms and stuff, and you can't set templates either. Just do it, guys, because you can set alarms for this. Now, people are asking the question, I can literally take a line and I can draw it here and I can put an alarm on this line, add an alert. Okay, from that, send me an email, send me a message. Like it can literally pop up here, send you an email and send it to you on the app. That's how you know when the market's overbought or oversold. Like, you can send this thing that it sends you when anything's happening, and you can type the message. Boom, money time.
Cool.
You know what I mean? And that's what you can set.
Brilliant.
I'm seeing a comment from Paul. Can we please do a trade? So I know people have their hands up, and I'm so sorry to be the dictator and move us on, but I think considering the time as well, let's continue on. Let's show some good stuff. I know Mama Sniper gave some amazing stuff earlier on as well, which I think will be great to get to. So I think let's move on, Sheldon.
Mama Sniper, have you got your accounts there? We'll take a trade on your just see if you do have, even if it's the Binance one. We did take a BNB short, and I want to show you guys how to short without leverage. Very powerful. Just understand, I will need you guys to trade 5 trades over the next few days, long and short. You're going to do it on small time frames. So it doesn't matter if you're coming in as an investor, high time frame trader. I just want you to get in and out of your system of understanding how it works. Then we can match it to the time frame, and we can match it to the tools that you need for the actual trades. So Ron was saying, can we have a little bit of a hint on what's basically to come? Okay, so ultimately, when I was speaking about the 8-hour, when we had the first cross over here, okay, ultimately with that, would have given us the area that we're looking to either offload or to get out of the market. The RSI is telling us that. Secondly, we would have had our 50 moving average at resistance. Thirdly, we would have been breaking a trend. Fourthly, we would have hit a horizontal resistance. So ultimately, all 4 of these things would have told you to get out throughout that time. And it's the same thing. So I'm going to give you a full checklist going into when you get into the strategies now, where you have the support trend, on the up, you have the MA, you have the RSI, and you have the horizontal. And if all four of those tick, you're allowed to short or take profits. If all four of them tick, you're allowed to long or get in. So you see how we're going to start using all the tools now on the time frames. And what's amazing is on daily, you know, the 50 MA is okay. It's there, but it's not like, you know, it's pretty good. I'd rather use the 200 on the daily. So the only thing that's going to shift is slight little bits of tools that are going to shift on each time frame. But ultimately, I'm going to give you all the powerful tools on each time frame of knowing when to long or when to short in the market. Very simple sort of thing. So what we're looking at now, guys, this for me is school fees. So I want you guys to use school fees for the first trading. I want to excite you as well. When you finish sniper school, you jump on a 3-hour live trading session with me, and then we go crazy. Then we go absolutely wild with trades. Right now, it's school fees for you guys, and I need you guys to do trades, longs and shorts, so you understand the concept and you understand how it all basically works. So before we do give what our trade is and what we're looking at taking, I want to show you the basic view, and I'm using OKX, and my mom's got Bybit as well, which I'll show you guys. But the one thing that I want you to just explain to you, if you're on spot, right? Spot trading, you buy the actual token, you own the token. When you're buying, and basically you're expecting the market to go up, so it goes up and ultimately you make dollars, right? When the market comes down and you get out of your token, you get dollars in return, the token gets cheaper and you go buy back more tokens. So ultimately shorting in spot means that you're building more tokens. You're making more Bitcoin, you're making more Ethereum, you know, you're making more tokens in spot. Then you got the different version. Okay, and this is a powerful tool that you're going to use in markets where they ranging or anything like that, is you have the futures on, you know, OKX, BitGet, and Bybit. And you don't have to put leverage. So people think, you know, ignore this leverage thing. There's a part coming at the end of this course of leverage, and then we will talk about that. But that is an extremely powerful little tool that you have to earn to do that. You don't just do that, otherwise it hurts you, and you're just being, you know, irresponsible. But what you can do here, guys, is you can select the 1x. If you select the 1x, you basically don't have the risk of borrowing any money from the exchange. But what it does is it allows you to short $4. So the difference here is if you say that Bitcoin is over here now on the weekly, I'm shorting it at 16,000 and I'm taking profits at 12,000, you know, ultimately that is showing that you're looking at, let's have a look, let's say 25%. Okay, so if you put in $1,000 and you short on a 1x and it goes to that $12,000, you'll make $250 on your $1,000 in the short. So there's no risk of borrowing money and liquidations and all these sort of things, but you can make dollars. The problem with spot, you can't do that. Spot, you would have made 25% more Bitcoin because you would have sold out, you would have been holding your dollars, Bitcoin got cheaper and you would have bought back. So the skill is you can make money if the market's going down. And you don't have to be a high leverage or risky trader. You can learn the basics from that sort of move. Mama Sniper, what are we thinking? Is the trade available now? Is there a trade available now? We are currently, let's actually have a look here. We were in a BNB short. Mama Sniper, what are we thinking?
Sorry, I was on mute.
Let's get the team. Craig, Jay, what are we thinking? And we can give a basic trade setup so the guys can get started. And then what I want the guys to do is all of you guys could take $10 and where you think you must buy, go buy. And put a stop loss, put your risk to reward tool, and put a TP where you think. And next time, short where you think. I want you to, for 5 trades, give me 5 trades, guys. All of you trade where you think you must buy, you think you must sell. I need your data. You can't have your trades on my data. You know what I mean? I need yours. So I'll give you an example here and get us going. But ultimately from that, I want you guys to go trade. And jump to the 15 minutes. Remember, a 15, go to the 15 and be like, okay, every time the RSI is here, that's one trade. Only if it's above 90, is that a sell? And go do the same method that I taught you guys, which I will give on the Discord groups. But you'll see that in the 15-minute chart, it will give you a total of 4 trades for the day. You will see how many trades does the 15-minute chart give you. What data does it give you? Then I want you to long and short where you think you should be doing that. Then we can use that and we can just get better. That's the beauty part of it. I think a long, what are we thinking?
Yeah, very short term, not long term.
Yes. Short time frame, long.
What time frame?
Okay, amazing. And what's looking
if you
good?
look at, well, if you look at BNB on the 5 minutes, it's just broken out of the trend line, and it's ranging sideways. So it could be just a top and bottom.
And
yeah,
BNB is hot right now. So for me,
Yeah.
this would be, let's put a few of our tools here quick. Let's have a look, 15 minutes, boom, golden zone, fantastic. RSI, not beautifully there just yet. So this, we won't go too crazy on the entry. Guys, a $10, $20 with your 250 is perfect. Stop loss under previous low. Risk to reward ratio tool. So let's put the risk to reward ratio tool in here. Boom. Let's place that bad boy. So ultimately, we are risking 1.5%. We have a huge gap. Let's go see where our risk to reward ratio is above 3. So we have that resistance over there. And we basically have these resistance points over there. Amazing. Let's put our tool in and see. Okay, so we have a 1 to 3 to the first one, which is okay. And we have a 1 to 4. So that one's looking a bit better. So here we go. Let's make sure that that's good over there. And sweet. That's all that I need for the basic setup. So for me, I've entered in this.
You guys will learn all this stuff. We're taking a trade now, and we haven't finished with all the tools and everything. So just deal with the trade for now, but don't worry, you will learn exactly why Sheldon does, where he puts everything along this journey with the next.
Cool, Mom. So what you'll do is the trade we took this morning, if we can just put that in the trading journal, and if we could take this one as well on the exchange and also put that in a trading journal, so we can see what they did, you know, throughout next week, and we can start using that data. So guys, ultimately for me, I'm buying in the area right now. Small school fees, guys. We have lots of time to make money over the next few months. School fees. So a small $10, $20 entry here. I want you to learn the basic skill. A stop loss at 288 and a TP at 310. Take profit at 310. You've learned the stuff in the school now of how to put a stop loss and how to put a TP. Remember, with the exchanges, with a lot of them, Bybit, OKX, all of them, is when you are opening your actual trade. This is Ethereum, they don't have BNB, but when you're opening your trade and you're putting in a limit order or even a market, okay, I want to get in right now, you can click that TP and SL like I showed you guys in the course, and you can go put your take profit and your stop loss before it even enters you into the trade. So now we've done the risk to reward ratio tool. We understand that's where we put our stop loss. That's where we put everything. So you can go market buy now, put your stop loss in, put your TP in, and then you execute the trade. I want you guys to get stopped and TP'd in the next week. That's the ultimate goal. I want you to see, okay, this is how this tool works. This is how it went. This is how it grades. Cool. And from that, we can just get a hell of a lot better. Are you in there, Mom?
Yeah, I got in.
So all the exchanges are the same, guys. Understanding and use this. Use the 1x on the leverage, the futures platforms. It makes things a lot simpler. And cool. I think that's majority of it. I think let's take 1 or 2 more questions. And I need to go jump into bed with the lady before Mondays are busy. Mondays are crazy. Guys, are we enjoying? Please pop if you've learned to that and you're happy with these. Like, I'm gonna go with this and ultimately just keep pushing them. But please, if you've learned a lot and you're enjoying this, please pop in the comments there.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sheldon. I think you've shared invaluable stuff tonight. I saw some comments, people say you move so fast. It's like sort of overwhelming to see. And I think what's so cool about Discord and about some of the chats that are happening in the voice channel, and Jackie and some of the mods were chatting today about setting up an additional channel where we'll make permissions where people can actually share screens. So I think like the more you're doing and you're sharing screens and you're talking through what you're doing and people can take it slowly, step by step, following what you've done, I think that will be an amazing learning opportunity. Because looking at what you've done, I think it's if you're new, it can, I suppose, seems like it's happening so fast, but I think you've shared an amazing amount of alpha here today.
It'll all come together. I mean, we've all been there. We didn't just wake up one day. We had to learn all this and everything. But you'll see it all comes together in the end. The course is structured that way. So it is overwhelming now, but just make your notes, write it down, practice. One little bit last from me as well is just accept that you're going to pay school fees. Don't quit, never give up, and never give in. Just keep on trying. learn, and the more experienced you are going to become. So yeah, don't worry, don't stress about it now. It will all come together.
Awesome. Let's take, Peter's had a hand up for ages. Peter, let's hear from you. So let me just unmute you. You should have access to chat now. It's taking a moment, sorry. Jackie, I don't know if you can assist there. It's not.
Thank you all for the incredible comments here. Extremely overwhelming. Extremely overwhelming. Thank you. He was unmuted and now.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
what's up, Peter?
Hey.
What's happening?
Thank you all for having me. I'm very grateful to be here. I lost a whole bunch in beginning of 2021, got in just too late, and then was terrified and always was lagging behind your instruction through fear. I don't have that anymore. Now I feel like a hardened warrior.
You're bulletproof now.
Let's hope. Well, we'll see. But the quick question I had was that I think it was back in CoinPanel that you could trade through the actual software. Is that the same with TradingView? Will we actually just go to our whatever device to actually place the trade?
So remember, TradingView is your drawing den. It's the messy part, and ultimately the exchange. That's why it gives you a chart there as well, is where you use the chart to do the clear, simple trade that you want. All the messiness happens on your TradingView. So that's just your drawing den to go identify which coin am I going to trade, where am I trading it, all these sorts. So it's your messy ground, and then the exchange is where you keep it neat. You know, you put that nice trend, put exactly your buy, exactly your sell, exactly your TPs, and then it keeps it nice and simple for you. But your TradingView go wild. Try everything.
Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome. Let's hear from Elias. Let's unmute you, Elias. I hope I said your name correctly. Or Elias.
Yeah, Elias. So I have a question for, all of you traders. Would you keep the time frame consistent from one portfolio to all of your trades? Like, would you take 1 hour trades and 4 hour trades on one of your portfolios? Or would you separate each portfolio with different time frames? Or would you take the same?
So your portfolio would be split to specific time frames. Maybe sometimes your 4 hour, you got a part of your portfolio that's on the 4 hour, and your 1 hour are both saying buy. So you might be buying two. The only difference is one you're going to be holding for more. One's going to have a bigger stop loss than the other. One's going to have more money than the other. So yes, you basically, end of the day, you splitting, I have $1,000 and I need 3 reasons from crypto. I need one to help me. I really need to pay off debt. The other one, I really need to make some extra cash to spoil my wife or whatever it is. And the one is for whatever, shoes. Ultimately you'll have those 3 running 3 separate strategies. And you're basically finding out what is the best strategy for that money to make it happen, and that's it. So you're splitting it up and you're matching it with the time frame. It just keeps it simple like that. If you start confusing all of them and mixing them, it's so much like, how much can your brain actually keep, without getting extremely, you're just making it a very easy process for you. You have to make trading simple. Otherwise it can confuse you, and it's just like it does more damage than actual good.
And then also, just to add on that, if, say for instance, my monthly trading portfolio will be 1, it all depends on how much time I've got that week. If I've got a lot of meetings, I've got a lot of things, then I'll trade it on the 4 hour. But if I've got more time to sit, the same portfolio, I would use a different strategy and change the time frame. But it's just dependent on what time have I got for that week and what is my strategy for that week. So it all depends on your lifestyle as well, what it is you actually want to do that week. It's all part of your plan.
Great, thank you guys so much.
Cool.
Pleasure.
Cool. I think let's take one more. Does someone want to jump in?
There's 2 questions, so let's do Dion and let's do, is it Remco? Am I saying it right? Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it. That's it.
Let's do those 2 and then we'll get the rest. So Vicky, we must capture Vicky next one. I saw Vicky's also been there for a while.
Cool. Go for it, Dion.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to find out from a starter point of view regarding the time frames. If you had to place $100 trade on, say, the 1 hour, the 8 hour, and the daily, and you got full profits on all three of them, would the profit margin be kind of the same, or is that impossible to calculate?
So great question to see, you know, what is more powerful end of the day. I would say it would probably be near, but I'd probably say the 8 hour one would probably be the best. But, you know, ultimately the daily, it all depends on the market. Is the market moving in a bull run? The daily is perfect because you don't want to get in and out so much. In a sideways market, the 1 hour is the best. You know, in that, so that's the only thing that's going to shift is whatever direction the market's in. If it's in a strong upwards market, the daily is the best because you buy now, you hold that thing for 7 days and it just never stops. But then you get a market that we're in right now where it's just 16, 17, 16, 17. Like, you know, this is where 8 hours is way more powerful than the daily, because the daily you're just waiting and it's just not making money, not making money, not making money. So I think they all have their perks, all depending on what market we are in. In a raging market, stick to the higher time frames. In a sideways market, stick to the good, you know, 4 hour, 8 hour, these sort of ones that are swinging in that time, because that's the only money that's being offered. So that's mainly it. So I think they shift. Yes.
So basically in a bearish market, you'll trade more than you do in a bullish market.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
People think of it the other way. People think the other way. That's the truth.
Yeah, and as well, you know, in a bull market, the TA works absolutely fantastic. In a bear market, we've got so much FUD and we've got so much news and so much emotions that it's just it's better to do it that way. It's safer to do it that way. When a bull market is not necessarily, you can run much longer in a bull market. Yeah.
But to be honest, like, you know, the daily is where you do make the growth. But if you want to turn $100, like, I would only shift to the daily strategy when your account's at least $2,000 to $5,000. So for me, I would be using the 1 hour and 4 hour and getting really good at those to get your $100 to $500 first, to 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000. Then I'd shift into daily, because then it's worth it. You know what I mean? Then it's fine that you don't trade much and your account's at a decent size, that when you do make that 50% or that 40% trade on the daily on your 5,000, now it matters. You know, otherwise it's going to take you long. Because if you use the daily strategy now, it's going to take you the whole of the next year just to get you to the $5,000. Do you know what I mean? But if you do it on the shorter time frames now to get to that and then shift to the daily, now you're being smart, because then your 5,000, you can build this the roadmap to 50,000. And ultimately, that's how you do it. So right now, you got to try good at the 1 hour and the 4 hours. Like, get good at those. You know what I mean? And once you're good at those, then you can focus on the higher time frames. But right now, you gotta get active. You gotta use your school fees now, learn all the basics, and you gotta get active. You gotta get that account to 1,000, 2,000, and from that you can just upgrade. And then you do learn it in the next week. I give you guys the roadmap of the $100 to $1 million. I give you the whole thing on when you shift into a different trader, the different time frames that you shift in when you get to those levels. And I'm there to help you with that and give you the strategies.
And exactly that, you know, we, you know, especially now when you're learning, the more trades you can do, the better. And we actually, as a team, Craig, Jay, you guys will probably all remember this, a good couple of months ago, almost a year ago, we all just climbed on a Zoom call together and we said, let's trade the 1 minute chart. we
got our asses beat.
We traded the 1 minute chart. Now that's taking a heck of a lot of trades in one day, but you know what it taught us? It taught us a lot. So the more trades you can get in at the moment, if you're going to do daily trading at the moment, you're not going to trade that much. So yeah, it's just all those little key things. Learn as much as you can.
I saw there was a thing, you sound like there's no risks. Of course there's risks, but you need to win 3 trades out of 10 with risk to use the risk to reward ratio tool. 1 to 3, 1 to 5. That's it. Like, just use that and it's fine. You can get stopped out. You can take 5 losses, 7, doesn't matter. Your 3 wins are way overpowered as long as you're using that tool. If your reward's not worth the risk, then it's just use that tool correct, and then you're on.
Okay. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for this course. It helped me a lot personally, and I'm sure
Absolute
a lot
pleasure.
of people appreciate it a lot.
Absolute
Last little
pleasure.
thing.
Dion, I'm so sorry. I'm going to interrupt you because we still had to hear
problem.
from Remco.
Cheers, Dion.
Sorry
you,
to stop you. Thank you so much. But please post your question in the forum, because it may be answered, if not by Sheldon, then by somebody else. Sorry about that, man. Sorry to cut you off. Let's hear from Remco before we finish off.
First of all, thank you all for this opportunity. I follow Banter since 2021. Started the bull run. Make perfect profits, but lost it all. Why?
Welcome to the club.
Yes. No clue what I was doing, and now it's going so fast. I was this morning already here, and now I'm watching the second time. So, and there are so much more things to learn by the questions what asked here in the second live stream.
And that's why I appreciate your dedication, because remember, I use every lesson. I asked the guys as we jumped on, guys, how could we be better than the first one? No, we should interact more. We should take more questions. We should do these things. So just remember, if you do double sessions, you're going to get alpha on both of them. And you probably are going to get different ones, because I'm going to try to do the basic concepts on both, but I'm going to try be better on every single one with the whole team. They're going to keep trying to say, how can we be better? How can we give more than the previous one? So thank you for the dedication. I appreciate that very much. You'll get alpha on both, and I promise you we'll keep going. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank
amazing.
you so much. Amazing. On that note, we're going to say cheers to Sheldon. I'm going to keep you for 2 more minutes to share some important information and next steps. Thank you so much, Sheldon. Thank you to Mama Sniper and the team.
Much love. I believe Bitcoin flies. I believe it touches the sky. Have a good weekend, everyone.